So we will start with a brief introduction, but before that, let me welcome everybody who will be watching us after the premiere. So welcome everybody to the. Oh my God! Wait, I'm gonna be looking at my screen so that I don't mess up anything, right? I don't want to mess up the names, the titles, the questions. So I have my computer screen on the side. I'm looking at LaRheeda over here so that I know, my head will be moving a lot. Everybody, please don't mind this. First of all, let me welcome everybody to the interview with LaRheeda, our lovely guest in here. And this interview is a part of a project that is Through the Looking Glass in cooperation with the European Solidarity Corps. We would like to also thank Active Rainbow, which is a local LGBTQ plus organization that, you know, is very helpful to anyone and everyone queer. They organize a lot of events, they have activities, they have support, they have a lot of very knowledgeable people. And today we are in their space. You can see their lovely bookshelf in the back. So we're very thankful for the place and the equipment that they lended us for this. But good enough about us, right? Let's talk a little bit about our special guest in here. Hi.
Hi.
So, uh, first of all, very glad to welcome you into this little internet online interview kind of a moment. Couldn't
Thank
have
you.
happened.
Thank you.
I wish it happened, in real life. I like talking to people in real life, but sadly, we're making it work the best as we can. But could you tell everybody more about yourself? I think it would be lovely to hear it from you rather than from me.
Hey, my name is LaRheeda. Um, they used to name me Rheeda,
Mm-hmm.
but now it's LaRheeda. I'm the mother of the first French house I built in 2013, the Paris exclusive House of LaDurée. It was the first French house. Became like my bio said that it became Maison Owens in 2023. Yes, October. We did the Grand March and everything at Kitty's Ball. What can I say about me? My bio say everything.
All
Like
right.
I'm an artist. I perform for the president, for many artists like Aya Nakamura. Yeah. So yeah, I'm just me.
All right, all right, all right. Well, you seem to be selling yourself a little bit short, but it's okay. We all know that you're a very valuable person to talk to, definitely, right? You're influential, everybody knows you, and we're here to find out a little bit more about your perspective on things, right? So, the
Okay.
interview is about the ballroom history of Europe, and I think we can pivot a little bit to the questions that we have. So, a little bit of structure never hurt nobody. So, but we'll start with the very first one. So, when and how did you first learn about ballroom, and what's your first experiences with it?
The first time I bumped into ballroom, oh, I have to say not ballroom, but Vogue Femme because I already bumped into Vogue Femme before knowing it was a part of the ballroom.
Mm-hmm.
So I bumped into a video of Leomi in 2006. Leomi versus the Ibizu. It was on YouTube. It was thanks to YouTube that I discovered ballroom, especially Vogue Femme. As I said, it was Leomi versus the Ibizu, and when I saw this video, it was I don't know. I was attracted to the screen because it was unknown to me. I never seen crazy atmosphere like this, or people was shouting, and I was attracted by the move. So. the move. I said because back in the days I was saying the move, but after I learned that it was element, I was attracted also by the outfit and the hair. Leomi was whipping his hair like crazy.
Right,
Um,
right.
yeah, like crazy, and she battled three Evisus that night. When I saw this video, I was like, I want to do this. I want to do this. And then after with with a friend, two friend of mine, like Lasseindra and another friend of mine, Precious Ebony. She's not in the ballroom anymore, but she used to. With those three, we had a group, a dance group, not about voguing, but it was dance group.
Hmm.
And Lasseindra knew she knew about a bit about ballroom, and she told us that it was ballroom, it was Vogue Femme, and it is a part of the ballroom. It is a category, and there is elements. Yeah, and then we learned about ballroom. That was in 2006 when we saw this video, and then I think between 2006 and 2010, um, there was an event in London, in Vauxhall. It was a party called Caribana, and it was not really ball, but they called it ball. It was just a party, a regular party, and then in the party there was this moment they called ball, and yeah, and this was the first time I experienced Vogue Femme and ball. It was in London, and in Paris it was in 2010.
Okay.
Um, yeah, I had a group of friends. We were like a family. Um, our name was Delicious. We were a family, but not like a mother, a father, and the kids. It was just a family, just friends, loving each other, hang out together. This family, we decided, and I think it was after the ball in London, we decided to make our own ball in Paris. It
Okay.
was I think the venue was calling Bus Palladium. You have some video of this ball, but you can see nothing because the quality is shit because it's been a long time. It was called Mini Vogue Ball.
Hmm.
I think basically it was just a runway and Vogue Femme. Yeah, just three category because I think there was also realness. That's what I remember. That's the way it started. I'm pretty sure we are the first one to make a ball
Hmm.
um,
Sure.
in Paris. Yeah, and then
Okay.
after I think like La Centra did in 2012. She did the very, yeah, the very first ball with many with different categories. It was called the Bollywood Bowl. Just before I traveled in New York,
Mm-hmm.
and I saw voguing in New York for the first time. When they announced the ball in Paris, I was like, "Oh, I want to do it! Like it's in Paris, it's in my city,
Right.
so I need to do it." And I also remember that I also remember that I did Vogue Femme, and for the first time, I did a category called sex appeal. I didn't
Mm-hmm.
even know what it was, but I don't know. I heard sex appeal, and I went to the judges um, like I want to be undressed and everything. So,
Yeah.
and you have a video of this on, yeah, yeah. You can find it.
We slowly already started shifting to the next question. The next question was something along those lines. So, when and how did ballroom come to Europe, right? What were the first houses, first functions? What were the houses Kiki major? What were the, the functions? Were they Kiki major? Who are
Yeah.
the trailblazers? Pretty much anything that you can remember. Any people
Yeah.
name drop all of them.
About Europe, so we can say that ballroom. I can remember when ballroom came to Europe. I knew that in Germany there was a house called Melody, House of Melody. That was um, the first German house created by Leo Georgina Saint Laurent,
Okay.
and this house
Yeah.
became Saint Laurent. I know also, yeah, because I call those houses house sisters,
Mm-hmm.
because when I create my house, I learn about their house. So in Netherlands, you have the House of Vineyards.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The mother is Amber Vineyards. Um, yeah, so in Europe, and we can also say that so that people are trailblazers, of course. And we can also say that maybe I think Inksy and Inksy Prodigy now is Alpha Omega, is not Prodigy anymore. But back in the days, she was Prodigy. We can say that Inksy and maybe also Avians,
Mm-hmm.
and Inksy, especially because of this video, this famous video with Lasseindra at the
Right.
street bar
Yeah.
in Sailor Moon. She was also a trailblazer,
Mm-hmm.
like Lasseindra, like Madaniki. Um, who were the trailblazer in Paris? So now we're gonna talk about Paris.
Mm-hmm.
From
Per.
the Europe, I don't know, because I was very um, focused on
Yeah.
Paris.
Yeah. Of
Yeah.
course. Of
So
course.
it was a lot for Paris. So
Mm-hmm.
so we didn't check what is going on in Europe. So
Of course.
so especially me, I was like, I wanted to be focused on what is ballroom, learn everything about ballroom, about concerning Paris. So I wrote on my list that there were before 2013 and from 2013.
Mm-hmm.
Before,
Okay. All right.
yeah, or as I said before, there was houses like Delicious.
Mm-hmm.
So my house, Ebony. You had also Mizrahi, and there was also Dynamite. I remember that Kiona
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Revlon was a Dynamite.
Okay. I might need to
Yeah,
educate myself a little bit more, and I will.
yeah, yeah. There was also, Riyah Mugler.
Mhm.
She was West. Before she was Khan. Yeah,
Mhm.
House of Khan.
Okay.
Um, so there was Khan in Paris also. I think that's it. And then from 2013,
Mhm.
um, that year I created my house. I decided to create my house.
Mhm.
There still at Ebony, Khan, LaDurée,
Mhm.
LaDurée, Revlon.
Mhm.
Um, Kiona became Givenchy, the house of
Mhm. Okay. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Um, Mizrahi, of course. And there was also, it was not a house, but um, a member of this house, the
Mhm.
Miyake Mugler.
Mhm.
It was Alex Miyake Mugler.
Mhm.
He's from the US,
Mhm.
but she lived in Paris for a certain time. She helped us a lot about the knowledge and everything. She was there because I think she is in Alvin LA school. She lived in Paris for to work. She helped us with his knowledge, and she was often on the mic at the event. That's what I can say about this scene in Paris. Yeah. Otherwise, before 2013, it was kind of
Mm.
messy, um, especially for me. So I'm gonna talk about for myself
Of course.
because I had this family, as I said, family, the
Mhm.
House of Delicious. So
Mhm.
Delicious, this family became a house when we
Mhm.
know about ballroom. The house, some members of the house were also in another house, U.S. house, like Ebony and Khan, like
Okay.
Riyah Miyake Mugler,
Yeah.
now but ex-Khan
Mhm.
was delicious, and Khan at the same time. Ebony, Precious, M. Kate, Ebony was
Mhm.
delicious, and also um,
How did that work?
because we didn't know that we could not have two houses,
All
and
right. All right.
and because we were learning what
Mm.
is a ballroom, we didn't know about this. And
Mhm.
also the thing was it was a bit confusing because when we were supporting each other,
Mhm.
um, we were screaming the delicious and also Ebony. It was
Oh,
like
okay.
confusing. So and then we learned that you cannot have two house except if you have one from the major scene
Mhm.
and another one from the Kiki scene. So that's why I separate. I said that before 2013 it was messy, kind of
Mhm.
messy, and then when we learned, it became really serious.
Yeah, so it was before the basics and after you've learned the base
Yes.
knowledge, right? Okay, all
Yeah,
right.
yeah. So
Okay.
that's my vision. That's why that's the way I saw ballroom,
Mhm.
and also about the Kiki scene. So because
Mhm.
talking about the Kiki scene,
Sure.
um, I think it was in October 2013 also,
Mhm. Mhm.
um, and Rhea, like her old name was Anisha
All
Onisha
right.
Khan, and she decided to throw a Kiki ball The
Mm-hmm.
first one in a famous venue in Paris called Beaubourg. She did the first ball, and at this time there was a Kiki house called La Benji. It was House of La
Okay.
Benji, Kiki House of La Benji,
Mm-hmm.
and that's why also she's an icon in the Kiki scene because she brought the Kiki scene and she opened the Kiki scene in Paris. At that time, there was Kiki House of La Benji, Kiki House of Juicy. I was a part of Juicy. Kiki House Dynamite. That was a Kiki House,
Mm-hmm.
and I think that's the only Kiki House I remember. So the first function, at the beginning, we didn't have our function, our own function. So when it start, we had to rent studios, dance studios, to
Mm-hmm.
make events and
Okay.
to be together and yeah and did what we have to do. And after this, um, there was a event called Le Rendezvous. It was voguing and walking events.
Oh,
In the
okay.
same event, you had a voguing
Mm-hmm.
and yeah, and it was just a few categories because it was the beginning, and we were not that much people. It was just Vogue Femme, Runway. I'm not sure there was realness. I don't think so. But I'm sure for Vogue Femme and Runway, that was the famous category. And there was
Mm-hmm.
also some regular um, um, a club called La Java
Mm-hmm.
and La Mona, La Mona. It was thrown by Tiger Saint Laurent.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and it was I think every Saturday night, and the same thing. It was walking and
Mm.
voguing, and just Vogue Femme and Broadway.
All right. Damn, that sounds very interesting, but then also like a familiar kind of concept because there are a lot of times smaller scenes usually they're mixed voguing functions with vocking functions, right? Like introduce a category or
Yeah,
invite local drag queens. So either it's drag performance plus voguing function or vacking plus voguing function.
yeah,
So interesting. I
yeah,
feel at least that makes it seem like everyone has similar starts, similar beginnings, right?
yeah.
All right.
It happened in the club, and then
Yeah.
after we had some venue. Yeah,
Baby
step
steps.
by step.
What were the main issues? So, well, now that you've learned your base, you knew what you were trying to build, what were the issues that you've encountered along the way? And maybe some of them you resolved, somehow found a way around them. Maybe there are some that are still a big problem, something that you kind of have to consider every time you do things or plan things for ballroom, that is.
Doing the ballroom in Paris, the main challenges was um, first to understand the vocabulary
Mm,
because it's a special vocabulary from ballroom, like FF. female figure,
Yeah.
like BQ, Butch Queen, and it's a lot of information that you have to learn.
Hmm.
Uh, that was the first challenge. Second, and I think it was the biggest one,
Hmm.
is was to make people come to the community, to have a big community, because
Yeah.
I think we start um, about 20, maybe 20 people.
Hmm.
So now we are a lot, but we start with, I think, less than 20 people, actually.
Yeah, probably makes sense.
Less
You.
than 20 people. And so, yeah, it was a challenge to have people to come, to make people come to
Hmm.
the community, to also have different categories, because
Right.
as I said before, it was just the famous category like um, Vogue Femme and Runway,
Yeah.
and sometimes Realness.
All
That was
right.
the main challenges for us. So to me, it
Hmm.
was the main challenges,
All
and
right.
especially for me,
Yeah.
sorry, especially for
No,
me, it
of
was
course.
all those information, and also um, um, especially for me, because I have created the first French house. It was um, very difficult, because I had also to respect more the culture,
Hmm.
because I think I had, but I don't not I noticed now, but I think I had audacity to proclaim myself like I am the mother of the first French house.
Yeah.
That was, yeah, that was dairy, but I at this time I was not like dairy. I was just, I want to do this,
Yeah.
and let's try.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Exactly.
But I
Now,
think it was dairy for
mm,
people. I don't know.
but it makes sense. Now, I loved your answer to this because it also reminds me of our scene, which is we're in Baltics. I'm not sure if everyone is familiar with me. I didn't introduce myself, and I'm not going to, you know. But essentially, we're in the third question already. I forgot to introduce myself, but my name is Melissa. I'm a double owner major scene and I'm a tutti in a smaller scene in Kiki. So I am a part of a Latvian house. If you don't know where Latvia is, open Google. It's free. But essentially it's in Baltics. So tiny, tiny country in Baltics. The community is slightly more than 20 people, but about that size. Slightly more. We're growing. Our scene here is only 5 years old. So it's been a challenge, but hearing you answer these questions, it makes me think about how things are growing here, how it's also always been like a handful of people, barely any people coming, and it's always hard to introduce new people to it because you can't just come in and start doing things right away. You have to learn your basics, you have to educate, and you can't
Yeah, of
educate
course.
people that don't want to learn. So they want to be a part of it so that they have to kind of not access, but they have to accept responsibility for being in the space to begin with.
Yeah,
So that was lovely and very interesting. So thank you for that. But
thank you.
in that case, did the people just start showing up? Like, did they just, at one point, you've noticed that at a function you organize it, there's like 75,000 people out of nowhere? Or was it like a gradual
No,
kind of
it was
increase?
really. I think it took times to get people. Yeah, because I remember that it was the same bunch of people that attend the function, and so basically the people and their um, their friends in the audience, but not that much contestants, Um, so people from the outside. We, yeah, it took time to get people to come at the ball. And what I was saying about the club, it was that people were, I think people outside of this culture um, and don't know about it. I think they first rejected that concept, that idea that um, Vogue is a part of the ballroom and they have elements and everything. And I said that because where we were at the club, so we were at random party, we were having fun and we used to dip on the floor and people were looking at us like, um, are, are they crazy or
Right, right. They still do
yeah,
that.
they were calling us. I remember that they were calling us mop because
Oh,
we were literally cleaning the floor. For them, it was that. And now the thing is that those person is now in the crowd at the ball, crying
right.
for us,
Uh,
shouting for
but
us.
for sure, of
Yeah,
course, that's gonna be like that at the end, right? Ooh. No, but the mop honestly is taking me out.
I will always remember that. The map. I will always remember that.
The mop. Okay,
Yeah,
you know what? I feel like this is the nogging part of it. The moment I see someone dip and they don't know how to, I'm gonna start calling them a mop. That's gonna be just it.
no, but I forget them because
Yeah.
they didn't know. They didn't know. When you don't know, yeah, you have a lot of opinions about the things. So, but it's okay. So we had to. I think Uh, we had to get through this to be who we are now.
It is lovely because you do kind of need to extend grace to those who are ignorant, because you never know, are they ignorant out of, you know, sheer unwillingness to learn, or are they ignorant because they just happen to not know at the moment, but they are willing to learn and educate themselves, right? And that way you can go about pretty much any issue, be it ballroom, be it, pretty much anything else. Kind of advice that you can give to, I'd rather say, than people who don't understand yet, but to the leaders of smaller communities who have to deal with all that ignorance, right? Who have to deal with a smaller scene and trying to build it and being surrounded by unrespective audience, for example, maybe.
What I can say to the European leaders of smaller scenes, try to get those things right, to do things right. Don't be afraid to ask to the elders. When I say elders, I talk about like icon legend from the US, because this is the very true testimony. So they can have true testimony from the origins of the ballroom.
The next question will be, how is European scene different from the ballroom scene in the US? Were there any aspects of the US ballroom that didn't translate well or that didn't work well in Europe? Are there any things that are unique to Europe, right? So something that wouldn't make sense in the US, but here we had to adjust things for it to make sense. Or, yeah, that would be it. So anything that is either unique to the US scene or unique to the Europe scene, anything that didn't quite work out very well between the two, for example.
So I don't know if there is things that don't work well, but between the US and the European scene, one thing I've noticed is that we don't have the same reality. We don't
Mm.
live the same thing. Um, they have their own. um, process, and Europe has its own process. So we don't live the same thing, and obviously we cannot see things. We have another vision, so we have to compose with our reality in each of the ballroom. Like I have an example.
Mm-hmm.
We had icon came in Paris,
Mm-hmm.
and she had to talk about realness. She was a film queen, and she was talking about realness. And at the ball, there was a guy walking realness with earrings,
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah.
and he got chopped because of his earring.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
we understood that in the US,
Mm-hmm.
um, you can have earrings when you walk realness,
Mm-hmm.
while in Paris, earrings means nothing for because like straight people can
Yeah.
wear
Yeah. Plenty of
earrings.
them do that.
And so this is yeah, the example I have,
Mm-hmm.
the only one I have, who show that we don't have the same, we don't live the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
so we cannot judge also the same thing.
This is very interesting to me because it's, when you start teaching, start explaining to people how to walk a category, because a lot of them are not interested in just sitting in the crowd and watching. Of course you would, but you want to try it out. So as you walk, you don't want to make any mistakes. And how do you not make mistakes? You learn the rules. And then that's
Yeah,
the interesting aspect, because if you learn rules that are in America and then you come to Europe and you see that everyone is breaking those rules and you're like, oh my god, what is going on? Why is no one doing this? Because I remember talking about, I think it was runway categories. I was talking to Stan L about the, like, how would you judge, for example, when you go to Europe, when you go to America, and he told me
yeah,
that he watches what the local people wear and how they are, like what are the fashion staples, and he told me a little thing about platform shoes, how those wouldn't be allowed for European runway in America. You would have to wear a stiletto as it's a European runway, right? But for in Europe, you still have a lot of people sometimes show up in like a platform boot, like or in a chunky, very like big sneaker or something of the sort. And like if it was in the US, that would have been a chop.
we
Yeah.
don't have just to copy
Mm-hmm.
the
Copy. Yeah. Yeah.
culture. We also have, I think we have to be inspired from the US scene, and then um, apply with our reality. That's my way to see, to see and to, but maybe someone will be not agree with me, but that's my vision.
Of course. Of
I
course.
think
No.
we don't live the same reality, so we cannot
Mm.
judge the category the same way.
So, we're moving from the past to the future. So, considering you've been around ballroom for so long, you've seen it being developed and growing in Paris, right? You've traveled to judge all over Europe as well.
Yeah,
So, do you have some sort of like, mm, this is how I see future in ballroom? Like, how do you imagine things going forward? Are there any trends that you're noticing? Is there anything that you can guess or like hope that the things will develop that way? Or
I don't know how I see ballroom, European ballroom in the future.
Mhm.
I never think about it. Um, but what I noticed is that now now I'm in the ballroom from since um, more than 10 years.
Mhm.
Um, everything goes fast.
Oh.
Everything going goes fast. So now we had people. It's so fast that I don't know some new generation come at the ball, and I was like,
Mhm.
um, I'm like, who is that? Who's that? Who's that? Who's that? So that's different. So everything going fast. Also, I never think about this, this question, but
Mm-hmm.
um, I also noticed that we were having fun back in the days when there was no money. Yeah,
Yeah.
because money makes people um, aggressive. It brings corruption.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like in general, when you enter money in a culture or something. So once again, it's the human psychology. This was the wish of Lasseindra. Lasseindra, when
Mm.
we start, Lasseindra didn't want, and at first I didn't understand why
Mm.
she was saying that. But now we have more and more events with money,
Mm-hmm.
and it's very different. The atmosphere is very different, so people are angry. Um, it's very different. So and people come now for the money. They not come to have fun. Yeah, they just come to for the money and be someone else. Sorry, and be someone in the
Mm-hmm.
ballroom. Like,
Yeah.
yeah,
It does sound very sad, especially considering how many massive events you have in Paris, right? So the scene is very big at this point, comparing at least to every other European scene. And you have those massive balls that half the Europe just moves to Paris for like a weekend or two. So I can't even believe, like, not believe, but I can't even start imagining how much money is in all of that, how much money it needs, how much money it accumulates. Is it actually enough? Like, do people actually do this as a job? Especially when you have like €1,000 grand prize, for example. Even €100 is gonna make people go crazy. 1,000?
and the thing is, once again, human psychology. It's we are in the human. We are in the U.S. culture, and they have years of ballroom before us, and we did exactly the same thing that they did, and we
Mm-hmm.
noticed that ballroom is going crazy in US.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because of the money. Because yeah, I said money, but there is also we can also talk about drugs. It's a lot, and everything is easy to have. We just copy, and we didn't think about the future.
Mm-hmm.
We just say, oh, okay, we want to do like the US, but the US is not really. I'm sorry for the US, but this is not a good example. At some point, they were not example. I understand. I understand that people can admire US, the country and everything. Um, it's not my case. They huge. They did a lot of things. They have a lot of thing in advance, um, and congratulations for them. But we see in the history what um, how do it works, and we don't have the we don't think about we just think about to do it to do like them, but we don't think about the consequences.
Mm-hmm.
I think we should think more about the consequences.
It is very understandable considering how big is the pressure in ballroom to follow tradition step in step, right? To do everything
Yeah,
correctly, to not get called out, to not cause damage to the community, right? To do it everything correctly. And you can really see how that, if you do it step by step, really the same, it does cause the same issues eventually that you have in the US,
yeah,
right? So it is a very valuable example on for pretty much anyone, right?
I don't know how I see the ballroom
Mhm.
in the future of the ballroom in Europe, but
Mhm.
I want it more human. That's what I want.
Addressing the elephant in the room, I am very obviously white. We all know where ballroom came from, right? It didn't came from white people. It came from Black and Latinos communities in the
Yeah.
U.S. But there is also a big issue of smaller communities like mine. I mentioned I'm in Baltics. We quite literally don't have a big Black demographic. We don't have a lot of
Mm.
people of color, and even less of those people are queer, and even less of those people are interested in ballroom. So, is there any way for communities like ours that just don't seem to have people of color, right? Because it's not a passing thing, like, oh, you have one Black person in your ball, so you're a good community. But essentially, is there anything that we as wider communities can do to just make sure that we're not losing sight of what's important?
That question was very interesting because first I think um, ballroom was born in New York, but it spread everywhere in the world. And I think if we have differences, it's because they need the country needs the scene, even though there is no black people in the community. But for them, I think the the most important things is to spread the culture. They have to know where it begins, the origins. They have to know some people like the icon, legend. Um, Also, in order not to straying away from the tradition, what you are doing now, this interview is yeah, this interview is
I'm so sorry.
yeah, this
Oh, what?
interview is very
Yeah.
important because you make people know how it starts in the Europe. It's important to know, and you invite people like me, um, um, who are a trailblazer. Yeah, it's important to inviting people, telling their testimony about their city. You can do it with icon and legend from the US also. People back in the days, people from now. Yeah, it's important to educate. If
Hmm.
you want your ballroom are is valid,
Yeah.
um, you have to um, you must have theme queen because they are the essence, they are the origin of who of where we are now.
Hmm.
They built the scene in the US, and if you don't have so basically ballroom was for them, not for gays, not for butch queen. It
Hmm.
was for theme queen. So you must have theme queen in your ballroom.
That is very interesting point considering the fact that, I mean, there are transgender women and men are everywhere. They
Yeah,
are everywhere. But you can't just be like, oh, you're transgender, come to my ballroom, right? Come to my
yeah,
scene. If they don't have interest in it, they don't have interest in it.
yes, yes. They have
Yeah.
to be interested, of course.
So it
Of
is a thing in here as well. What happens sometimes we have functions, we have realness. That is a category, obviously. So we have it. We have femme queen realness, we have butch queen realness, trans men realness here, and a lot of times you'll have no one walking. And then people ask like, "Oh, why would you make a category when you know no one is walking?" I'm like, "Well, essentially, you make a category and someone will eventually start showing up. If you create space for them, they will be there."
even if you don't have like I don't know if you put film queen category and you don't have film queen, you have to um, um, put this category at every event because it will take time to them to come to the ball or to attend or to walk the ball.
Mhm.
But those categories like film queen, trans man, they realness also. They have to be at the event. They have to
Yeah.
be at the event because it calls the people to come.
It attracts the people who have to be there. It's,
Yes, yes, and also maybe you can also say to those people that this is a safe place
mhm.
for them, because basically there is no straight people like, so
Yeah.
they can be free to be themselves.
The questions we collected over at our Latvian Ballroom Scene Instagram. So there's not a lot of them, but some of them I'm gonna turn into one, right? So just a few. But essentially, the first question is about making your own house. Interesting topic. So the question is, should smaller scenes make their own houses or carry the knowledge and style of houses who already have leaders, who have their own image, their label, right? Especially being mindful that voguing these days is being pulled more into the commercial side of things, not only commercial as in on TV, but more like money commercial, I'm assuming, because, yeah. So, what do you think? Is it important to make your own houses in smaller scenes, or would it just be join a house and be happy with that?
Both are important, like in Paris. So if you have the audacity, like me, to found your to open your house, if you have a vision of your house and a concept of your
Mhm.
house, so let's do it. Don't hesitate. And if you are interested by joining a house, it's okay. It's okay also. So you do as you want. It will stay ballroom. Start in a house first,
Mhm.
joining a house, and then you can open your house. You have the knowledge first, you learn,
Mhm.
and then you fly away um, by your horn. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I didn't
Yeah.
do that, but I think it would be better
Yeah.
if I had learned more in a US house,
Mhm.
for example, and then make my own house, like Charlie,
Yes. Yeah. Coaching
yeah,
Brown, right?
Gucci Brown, yeah.
Mm. This is
Evo was
sick.
Ebony.
Yes. For everyone watching and who doesn't know who Evo is one of the main
You
leaders of
should
Latvian
know who is
ballroom
Evo.
scene. Exactly. You should know my father. What is this? But Evo is one of the leaders of Latvian ballroom scene, and the scene, as I mentioned, I keep mentioning it because it's true. The scene is small, but a lot of it has grown on their shoulders, right? So it's just them bringing it, wishing it into existence sometimes. But
I
all
love
right,
him as an MC.
they good MC, book them.
Yeah.
Absolutely, book them. The voice of
He
Baltics.
made a big announcement. I remember he made a big announcement for me in Estonia. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
what?
Mm-hmm. We've been talking about scene leaders, right? And you are also one of the leaders of your scene and have been for a while. So the question is, should a scene have a leader? How does someone become one? What does that mean for that person? So I'm assuming they're talking about the label of a leader, but however you understand the question, feel free.
Wow. I never asked myself those questions
Mm-hmm.
about the leaders. So, for me, the leaders has to be guidance for the next generation.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, they have to. They they must have a certain knowledge about ballroom, about HIV also. Ballroom is
Mm-hmm.
about Abington. Get tested also.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, and yeah, prevention. So
Hmm.
yeah, so they have to be able to talk about those subjects, not just um, be a mother or a father and don't talk about those things.
Hmm.
They have to be able to do this because it's not only um, the the fun part of the ball.
It is interesting. These days, a lot of times you hear about the leader of the scene. You imagine, okay, they throw balls, they have 75 kids, they're in 15 houses all at the same time, they are very influential, big, they know a lot of people. But we often do forget about how it's supposed to be a parent first and then leader next.
To
Good.
answer
Yeah.
the um, how to become one, you can become a leader, but you can be a leader and also learn. I think you cannot be a leader like this. I think we still learn even if we are a leader. We can be a leader, but you have to do the basics, but also you have to also learn. You still learn.
I think ballroom is a wonderful place to learn about life in general. You can't just talk about ballroom and think that it only applies there. It's being
Yeah.
leader pretty much anywhere. Leader is not about just making a decision or two or three, but it's about the accountability, right? It's about learning how to be one. Talking about what people think leaders do, throwing balls. That's one of the things, right? And the question is, if you were about to throw a ball, how would you choose the judges? What qualities should one have to be a good judge? Right? So how do you pick who gets to judge your ball?
So first of all, you have to pick someone who. Oh, the sun. First of all, you have to pick people. I mean, valid people. I mean, people who are there from the beginning or from the start. People who have knowledge. People who he's able to judge categories, even if it's not their categories. Um, and yeah, and obviously, you cannot put someone new on your panel, on your judge panel. If you still learn, uh, you don't have a seat to the judge's table.
How much do you like having strategic battle cats? So someone who approaches the battle as like, I have strategy, I want to win, I will do XYZ, this is my thing on the floor. And you have a different kind of people who perform, right? So their vibes, they're like, oh, I'm feeling this in the moment, I'm doing that, right? So vibes and flavors. So which one do you prefer? Like you watch battles all the time, I'm assuming. You have your favorite categories too. Like what is more of your type of performance and what do you focus on? Well, you specifically, you have kids. You prepare them for battles too, I'm assuming. You at least once you had that conversation. So what do you lean into?
I love when people being strategic. So that means they know who they're going to battle. So they adapt their energies to these people. Um, Example, if the person is dramatic, um, they will be soft and calm.
Mhm.
Yeah, the judge. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
This is
yeah,
this,
yeah.
this is a strategy. So, but I also love the people who just don't care about the strategy and they just be themselves. They tell a story. They make a moment or moments. Yeah, I like both.
All right.
I think
So,
both work.
do you think it's based on the person's personal kind of like character? They're all calculating people and strategic people, and there are those who go off of vibes and just, oh, I'm just feeling like that, so I'm gonna vote like that right now? Or is there like one person can be both? Maybe.
One person can be both, and I think nowadays people like um, those people who are affirming who themselves, who they are. Yeah, they have a character. Yeah. So people like that ballroom like that.
And the final, for now, I promise you, one final question. That one is about clothing, about fashion. So, slightly different approach, right? What about clothing in ballroom? It feels like people want to bring it more as a costume to fit the category, right? Or to fit the theme. For example, if they're given a very costumey theme, not to get inspired by it and make it fashion, right? So you have something that is closer to cosplay versus something that is fashionable but may not read as closely to the category inspo. Can we blame it on easy judging? As in, like, oh, I see you look like the character, you have your costume, here's your tens? Or do we blame it, if you blame it, that is being said, or do we blame it on just the kind of odd themes for the balls? Like, what would you prefer in the first place? Do you like costumes? Do you like slightly fashion forward pieces? Like, what do you prefer?
So when I judge,
Yeah.
I prefer when it comes to fashion,
Mm-hmm.
because ballroom originally in the category it was saying be creative. Ballroom always be creative, so you cannot just copy the character and came. So you have your own personality. So
Mm-hmm.
creativity is welcome,
Mm-hmm.
but at the same time, I will not chop someone because he's coming with the costume, because the category says that he came like that. But to me, it's not a chop, especially when the scene is smaller or
Mm-hmm.
they still learn. Yeah. So to me, it's not a chop. In general, to me, people don't deserve chop, except if. But that's
Explain,
once
explain.
again, once again, that's my vision.
Yeah.
But except if it's very, very, very bad, you chop the
Mm-hmm.
person, and
Okay.
she has to go back at the lab to learn, yeah, and come back
Mm-hmm.
better. But when I if you don't see it, you
Mm-hmm.
can chop. If you see it, it's okay.
The chop thing is interesting because people are very opinionated on chops. What do they matter? How important are chops, right? I personally believe that you have to get chopped multiple times before you really figure it out. You just said that, no one really deserves it. What are, like, okay, if I see you do these things, that's definitely a chop. Do you have something like that?
For example, for Vogue Femme, if you I mean Vogue, not Vogue Femme, for Baby Vogue,
Mm-hmm.
for Baby Vogue. So Baby Vogue is a very special category for Paris. For Baby Vogue, if you are not able to do a catwalk or a talk
Mm-hmm.
walk on beats or deep, it's a shock for me.
Obviously,
So
yeah.
it means you have to. You are not bad,
Mm-hmm.
but you have to go to lab to work and come
Exactly.
back better. And yeah, for example, for this, yeah, or for face,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I learned that face when I judge, I used to be very kind.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I'm known to be kind at judging,
Mm-hmm.
uh, but yeah, for face is a very strict category.
It's just not a category for everyone, you know.
Yes, yeah.
It is
It's
not.
not a category for everyone. You have to, you must have a specific line
Structure,
structure.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's it's a whole thing. Yeah, you can be pretty, you can be cute, but sometimes it's not enough.
All right, maybe anything else? Like last categories, something that maybe like you saw recently and you're like, "Oh, this is not it. This is I don't like that." Last chop options, like immediate chops.
Oh, I get one. The one coming from the back and filling herself with the drink on his hands and doing nuggings.
Okay.
Yeah,
Oh,
we had some experience with people like this because our events were open to people outside of ballroom. So
yeah, yeah, yeah.
where people attend and don't know and don't give a shit about ballroom, and
Mm-hmm.
you have this person who drank a lot and come to the ball because he feeling that he can do it. Um, Miss Honey, darling, you can go back. It's a chop.
Goddamn, and they usually don't understand what the chop means, so they
Yeah, and
keep going,
don't
right?
understand
Oh
a
my god.
shit. What are you doing on the on the
Oh,
floor?
listen,
Go
sometimes
back
I
in the
feel.
crowd and just enjoy
Oh.
in the crowd.
That being said, thank you so much for your time.
Thank
If
you so much for having me.
Is there anything else that you would like to tell us? Maybe you're having a function anytime soon, you're throwing a ball, having a project coming out, anything that you maybe would want to plug?
No, I don't have any project for
Mhm.
now or in the future. Just um, come to Paris because it's the yeah, come to Paris. It's the second place to be the
Oh,
US
all
for
right.
the ballroom. So come to experience Paris.
All
Yeah, that's
right.
what I want to say.
Word.
Because as you notice, I'm very nationalist.
All French
First
people are,
French
from what I
mother, first
remember.
French
Yep.
house.
Mm-hmm.
We have our own reality. Yes, I'm a
Mm-hmm.
nationalist.
Word. So, yeah, quite literally, if you've never been to Paris, to everyone who is watching, hopefully, still, it's been a while, right? We've been
Yeah,
talking for a bit.
don't
But
stay
if you
behind the screen with the Paris Ballroom TV and Kendrick Mugler. So just
you
come
can
to
go
Paris.
there. You can
We have
watch it
fun
at
in
home and then go. And then go and watch the same thing in real life and maybe walk,
there. Yeah,
maybe get your tents to, you know.
yeah, maybe.
This has been lovely. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. That is it. We are done. We have answered everything. If people have
Yeah.
questions, let them just hit you up. Just be like,
Yes,
I actually
yeah,
have a
they can hit me
question.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you have question, you can hit me up. Have Instagram. It's sexy LaRheeda. It's mother in my um in my hometown,
Mm-hmm.
Martinique.
Oh.
Mon, it's mom,
Mm-hmm. Oh
mommy.
my god.
So sexy mommy LaRheeda, but
Whoa.
sexy
Okay.
mom.
All right. That is a very sexy name. I can. Very
It's
sexy
long,
name.
but
Listen.
unforgettable.
Unforgettable. Definitely leaves a pleasant taste in your mouth when you say it. Thank you for watching this lovely interview. Give LaRheeda a lot of love. I don't speak French, so I can't pronounce it correctly, but she'll teach you. She'll teach you how to say it. How do you say it?
Sexy man LaRheeda. You
Ah,
can say
beautiful.
sexy man LaRheeda.
Beautiful. See, you learn how to pronounce that and then you trust her. Now, what you have to do, you watch this and rewatch this and watch this one more and show your grandma, your mom, your sister, your brother, your dog, and your cat. Everybody has to see it. Memorize everything, take notes, ask questions, stay curious. Now, if you want to learn more, like and subscribe and follow Latvian Ballroom Scene YouTube, Instagram. We have a lovely supporter of Latvian Ballroom Scene that is a non-governmental organization, 3D Friends, based in Latvia. Wonderful people working with youth, disabled people, mostly deaf communities in here. If you're part of either of these, if you're queer, if you're disabled, if you're just young and need help, also feel free to find them. Thank you for being here with us.